We live in such a futuristic world. If you look back just a few decades ago, you can see how information isolated we were as a society. But with the rise of social media platforms such as TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat, etc., it's never been easier to get information provided to you by human beings. If you'd like to know how to fix a car, if you'd like to know how to bake that cake that you've wanted to make for your mum's birthday, if you want to know how to learn a new skill such as coding, game design, art, it's never been easier now to gain that information. However, I'm looking through my For You page and searching out the best ways to save money, because I'm a uni student, I really need to save my money, is a lot of AI slop. Now, we all know our trusty little companions, ChatGPT, etc. However, I'm seeing a lot of content at the moment which is AI generated and labelled, and I personally do not agree with AI at all. I don't know what your guys' opinions are on it. I personally just am not one for AI. It doesn't mean I'm completely without it. I do use ChatGPT now and then, but that's normally just to do the boring things for me, which is what people should use AI for. If you're at university, I don't get why you would use AI. If you are at your job and you're trying to apply your skills for work, I don't know why you'd use AI. AI is meant to be there for the tedious tasks. It's meant to be there for good. It was meant to, when I first learned about AI, probably a few years ago when ChatGPT was first announced, it was meant to be this revolutionary product that could help cure sickness. It could help people, it could take away the boring jobs and give people time to create. But as we're seeing, it seems like the AI is doing the creating and the people are doing the boring things now. And this is interesting because I was going through Shein with my friend today, and she was going on holiday to Zante, and we were looking through the catalogues of different clothing items and different tops and trousers and things like that. And there were a lot of AI models. A lot. And me and my friend were quite skeptical, because how do you trust product listing that shows the outfit when it's on an AI model? Because most likely, in fact almost definitely, if there's an AI outfit, the outfit itself is AI, which also begs me to question the originality of the design. Because AI is continuously stealing and working on prompts, then what are the chances that that outfit is made by a real actual fashion designer who's okayed their outfit to be released to the public? Shein, as we know, is quite controversial anyway, and it uses a lot of child labour, and Shein's been very well known to steal designs from different artists all of the time anyway. But it's concerning the rise of AI slop that I'm seeing. Another example is I went to my nan's house the other day. She wanted me to put a ringtone on her phone, and she said, listen to this song, it's really good, and it was AI. And I told her it's AI, and she was like, no it's not, this is made by this guy's name. I'm not going to say the name, I don't want to give them any credit, but she was like, no it's not, this is made by X. And I was like, that person doesn't exist, it's an AI song. And I think this is what angers me about what AI is becoming. AI is stealing from content creators. My nan, I'm mixed race, my nan is black. The song was about black pride and celebrating being black. I don't get how you can stream a song and support a song that celebrates being black, but it wasn't made by a black person. It was made by a computer algorithm. It was made with ones and zeros. It's the same with AI artwork. The thing that makes art special in the first place is the fact that there was a human being who made thousands of different micro decisions and made the artwork. I also found a video on my For You page the other day that was pretty interesting. It was called AI Through Love Island or along those lines, and I think the original account is removed. Luckily, I think it was taken down, but where one account falls, multiple others pop up. The damage has already been done, and you guys have probably seen this, but to put in a summary, there's these AI fruit people who, are on this Love Island-esque game show, and they fall in love with each other and they break up and there's drama and romance, etc. Now, yet again, this is all completely made up and this is stolen from multiple artists' work. If you want a Love Island type show, just watch Love Island or the thousands of other shows that are out there. I'm sure there's thousands of different shows that are about Love Island. And I saw a comment on one of the posts which I think really sums this up quite well. The comment said something along the lines of, it was on a TikTok post, and there was this woman saying how she was really excited for the new AI Love Island, Fruit Island, whatever it's called, Fruit Cocktail, whatever episode to come out. And a comment said,
please like and subscribe, Pookies.
Here's what the comment actually said.
I wish that real animators were given this much credit for their work and people were this excited to see their work. You know, I think a lot of people on social media fail to see that animating takes time. You know, I tried making a Blender donut. That took me about a week, maybe even 2 weeks. And that's just a donut. Making these massive scenes and these complex characters and the storyline, the writing, the animating, it all takes so much time, which is what makes it special. These are real people who have dedicated their blood, sweat and tears into making a show for you to consume, most of the time for free as well. Even with real Love Island, I'm not a fan of Love Island, but there was a producing team, there were hiring managers, there was contractors who rented out the island. I don't know how it fully works. I don't know if Love Island's owned by the company or if they do different islands. I don't know. Not really a fan. I watched episode 1, but it wasn't for me. Anyway, I digress. These were made by real people, not machine, not with ones and zeros, not with coding, with real people. And this is what makes humans so unique. It's our ability to create, it's our ability to conjure up new ideas, to form things. The problem, in an ironic sense, we have created something that creates for us, which is lazy. It's lazy, it's unmotivating, and it's dystopian as hell. I don't know why you would want something to create for you when that's probably one of the only things as humans that we still have control over in our society. So let's play a game. I'm going to show you 2 videos, okay? And you've got to decide whether these videos are AI or not AI influencer or not AI influencer. Are you ready? Let's play.
Me? Ignoring you? Yes I am, bitch.
Now, which video do you think was AI influencer? Do you think it was video 1 or video 2? Put your guess down in the comments below. I'll give you a few seconds.
Yes I am.
It was both of them. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to deceive you like that. If you felt deceived, if you got it, well done. That's everything. I'm so proud of you. But if you didn't, this is the problem when it comes to AI. It's not just the fact it's not creating things for us, it's the fact that it's getting really realistic. You know, I never used to get fooled with AI. If you remember the Will Smith eating spaghetti video, that never would have fooled me. In fact, AI used to be funny back then. It was quite small. I mean, it still affected the planet, but not everyone knew. I didn't know that, but I was quite oblivious to everything anyway online. It would create these wacky little photos and videos, and it'd look funny because it sucked so much. And that was all there was to it. But now we're looking at AI that's getting really realistic, and it's getting scary. What if you were sent a video of your family member or friend in a dangerous situation and it turned out it was AI? Or if you received a phone call from your family or friend and it was their voice asking you, please send me some money, please do this, please do that, I need help, and it was AI the whole time? What if your family or friend sent you a message and it was AI the whole time? Well, luckily, we don't have to worry about that yet. Oh wait, we do, because it's already happened.
Me? Ignoring you?
Now, I'm going to show you guys a video which I saw on my For You page the other day, and it is really, really scary. scary. It's not scary in a horror sense, it's scary in a like, we live in a Black Mirror episode sense. Basically, it shows a mum who receives a call from her daughter. I'll show you the clip now.
What did we have for dinner last night? Oh my God, Mom, I don't remember. Oh my God, I don't remember. How many siblings you got? Why are you asking all these questions? Just open the door for me, please. I hung up. I called the school, because I text her, but I called the school. I'm like, hey, I need to know what Jalen is. I need to check on her, tell her to call me ASAP or whatever. So they get her. She comes to the office. I said, did you just FaceTime me? She said, no, I'm in school. You guys.
Now, isn't that horrifying? Imagine if she believed her. Imagine if she sent money to this child or supported her in any way, shape or form, because as a mum you would, you know, your child's calling you, she's in distress, you help her out, and it turns out it's not even your kid, it's probably some 40-year-old man living in his mum's basement in the middle of Uruguay trying to get you to send over payment details. And it doesn't just stop at FaceTimes or calls. It, like I said, it affects text. It can affect any sort of system. What if this went up to government? What if this went up to the government? What if someone deep faked a video that looked so realistic that it caused world leaders to panic a bit? You know, what if someone said, oh, I'm going to attack America, and they were Russian and they face-tuned Putin onto their face, or they deep faked Putin onto their face. This is where the problems start to become more clear. When we live in a world that's filled with so much misinformation, uncertainty continues to grow and grow and grow. And the problem with this is, what if your child did call you and they did need help, but you didn't know that they were your child or not? How do you know if they're AI or not? You could create a secret phrase, sure, you could be like bananas, and that could be the thing you say at the start of every call, or it could be like a little hint to whether someone's AI or not. But what if the AI learns this? What if the person who's trying to scam or hack people has access to your voice logs or your messages, and they know the code word is bananas? Then it makes it even more difficult, because you believe the person even more so than before the code word. This situation kind of reminds me of The Boy Who Cried Wolf in a way. Apart from we're not crying wolf, the AI is crying wolf for us. You know, if we need help, and this is our first time asking for help, if we're in danger and we need some, or if we're in financial struggle and we need some money, that would be, you know, for a lot of people their first time, or it might not be your first time, it's completely fine, times are hard. But what if that family member answered that call and they said, I'm not sending you any more money, I think you're an AI? It's going to turn into a situation where you can only trust people from face to face, where you meet them in real life. And even then, we don't know what the future holds. There could be something that makes you not even trust the people you're seeing face to face, which is horrific to me. But it's fine, because governments have introduced the right legislation to help everyone out. Oh wait, they haven't. The governments are still debating whether to ban social media for under 16-year-olds. They're still stuck at that talking point, which really angers me, because I understand that social media is a dangerous and scary place it is. I'm not gonna lie. Social media can be horrific at times. People can get their information leaked. People can be killed over something they've said on social media. What you say on social media will stick with you for life, and children do need to be protected from that. However, banning social media for under 16-year-olds isn't going to work. People are going to find a way to get around it. They always do. There's no way that people are just going to let millions of under 16-year-olds not use social media at all. It's not going to happen. Unfortunately, the old people who designed our algorithms have made us addicted to social media. I mean, I'm 20, so it doesn't really affect me, but it's just important that we're on the same page on why I think the social media ban in general is a bad idea. Parents love to blame people for their actions. I'm not a dad. I don't think I'd ever be a dad. I think it's too much work, and I applaud all the parents out there. That is a difficult job, having to raise a mini human being into a functional adult. But It's your responsibility to put parental controls onto their things. It's your responsibility to monitor their online activity. There are plenty of safety features online, and there's plenty of things you can do. Even with your Wi-Fi company, you can ask them to block certain websites. You can ask social media to block content that you don't want your kids to see. But you can also tell your kid that they're not allowed a social media account, or better yet, do not give them a phone. When I was young, I know, I'm already young, and it's kind of weird saying that when I was young, but when I was young, I didn't have a phone or a tablet. I played outside, I touched grass, guys, okay? Now, it's a different story. I'm always on my TikTok. But I think I had a Nokia phone. And this wasn't because phones didn't exist. It's because my mum didn't give me a phone. She didn't trust me to be online when I was younger, which is a completely fair and reasonable conclusion. Children are children. This is the way they act. They're curious and they search things online they shouldn't, or they speak to people online that they shouldn't speak to. Especially now when it comes to AI, it's even easier for children to get deceived. But it's your responsibility as a parent. I genuinely believe that. You are in control of what your child views. You're in control of what your child has. You're in control of your child, period. You can control your child. It's terrible, the stories I've heard. I've heard children who have harmed themselves, or they're not alive anymore because of what social media's done for them. And I don't want to point the finger and blame the parents of those children directly for what their child has done to themselves or done to others, but it's a cautionary tale. It advises caution, and those parents could have put child safety features onto their kids' devices, or not given their kids devices at all. And I know what you're probably saying. Oh, when my child's older, they're going to want freedom, they're going to want their own phone that has a touch screen and apps, etc. They want to go on TikTok, they want to go on Facebook, they want to go on Snapchat, and that's completely fine. But even then, you can still monitor their phone. Social media is meant for 17 and up, I believe. I think there are some apps, I think TikTok may be 13 and older. But even then, a lot of social medias advertise themselves for adults. When I was younger, Facebook wasn't for children, it was for adults. It was for them posting their lives with other adults. The way I think of it is like this. If you have your kid in a public area, let's say a city centre, you're not just going to let the kid run about and do what it wants. Even if it really wants to go to the Labubu store, even if it really wants to go to McDonald's and have a Happy Meal or whatever kids like eating. This is the same premise with online. Online is like a town centre, but a bigger town centre because it has billions of people on it. You want to hold your kids' hand and guide them through everything. When they're older, you don't have to hold their hand anymore. You can walk next to them, you can walk behind them, you can walk in front of them, whatever. You know where the analogy's going anyway. But it doesn't mean that you let your kid out of your sight until they are a grown adult. And I know there'll probably be comments. There probably will be comments, or maybe if there's future reference to this video, people may say, oh, he doesn't have children, he's just a child himself basically, why does he get to comment on what parents do? But I'm not telling you how to parent, I'm asking you to be more cautious when it comes to your children being online, because a lot of parents wish they were cautious and it was too late for their children. So side rant over anyway. If we look past the scary sides of AI, if we look past the fact that it's stealing jobs, or that it's taking away creativity, or that in the future we won't have anything left of what makes us humans because AI will take it all, let's also just look at what AI is. If I went into a store and I stole an apple from the store, I'd be arrested. If I walked into an alcohol shop and I really wanted some Jack Daniels because Jack Daniels slaps, but I didn't have enough money, so I went up and grabbed the Jack Daniels and ran out of the store, I'd be arrested. But AI can go into people's posts, and they can go into old works and new works, just take, and it's completely fine. If I wrote an academic paper, because I'm in university at the moment, if you couldn't tell, I'm in my accommodation. That's a moving box because I'm moving to my new house soon. So we're pretty bare. If you couldn't see, we're pretty bare at the moment, okay? But if I wrote an academic paper and I didn't source and cite the material, I would be kicked out of uni. And it doesn't matter what university I went to, if I went to one in America, if I went to one in India, if I went to one in China, Japan, anywhere, I'd be kicked out of that university instantly. And that's because the world universally agrees that stealing is wrong. Either when it comes to real life stealing, academic stealing, every type of stealing is wrong. So how come when AI steals, it's completely fine? You know, if we're looking past this on an ethical standpoint, on a creative standpoint, if we ignore the fact that AI is using billions and billions of tons of water each year, or stealing work from artists and taking food out of artists' mouth and just the general population's mouth, if we're looking at this on a purely legal standpoint, how is it allowed to steal from people? And the answer is because no one's written legislation on it. AI is allowed to steal. It's allowed to steal from people. It's allowed to steal artwork. It's allowed to steal works because it spews out slop from all of those great pieces of work into a gross, shitty version of those pieces of work. And that's simply it. There's no legislation on it. Because the government isn't writing legislation on AI, there needs to be more work put into it. It doesn't send a great message out to the general population anyway. Oh, you can steal as long as you can find a way to get around everything. That's not how it should work, personally. I hope there'll be new policies and legislation on AI use and what AI can learn from, but at the moment it's not looking promising. The world is full of issues and it seems like the government is putting more time into banning social media for under 16s than actually banning something that does affect people on a worldwide scale. A kid can be deceived by a lot, but to deceive an adult, people on the internet get deceived a lot anyway, you know, it's a classic phrase, don't trust anything you see online, and it is true, especially now. But what about when it comes to things that look real? You know, you see someone who looks real and they're saying this real thing, and you know, or you see this work that was submitted and it looks completely written by a human. It's a lot easier to fall into the trap of AI. And if nothing can be done in the future, it's not looking good for future society. I wish there was another way to say it. I wish there was some positive feedback and a nice, fun, happy little hopeful twist at the end of the video. But at the moment it's looking bleak. And that's all there is. No one's doing anything about it. Everyone's letting it go on. Everyone's letting it happen. And that's just the way it is for now, it seems. Hopefully something can be done before it becomes too big of a problem, because it's already a pretty big problem now. I did see online how AI is starting to cannibalize itself. And if you don't know how that works, basically AI like ChatGPT learns off thousands, billions, trillions probably. You know, I don't know the exact amount. There's trillions and trillions of pieces of information that it absorbs through its training cycles so that it can spew out this slop continuously towards you so someone can get likes on a TikTok video. Let's take Fruit Love Island, for example. So you see these sad, weird fruit things, yeah? Now those fruit people were either taken from original art, so someone might have drawn or animated these, you know, fruit people, and then it's fed into the AI's learning algorithm, and the AI learns of thousands of different artworks and songs and literatures, etc, etc. So whenever you type a prompt in, it's using that information to fulfill your prompt, so you can post it online and get your 5 minutes of fame and create an uninspiring, dry series about AI Fruit Love Island. But the problem with that, you know, this is more of a solution. The problem with this is once people start producing AI slop, it goes online, it goes on the internet, it's published. Now AI learns of publicly available information, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, the general internet as a whole. It will find anything it can to learn off of. And when AI finds AI, it will learn off the AI and then produce the prompt. And then that AI prompt will get produced, and then an AI will take off that AI prompt and it will make an AI prompt. And when you have a copy of a copy of a copy, when you have slop after slop, cracks start to show, no matter how small they may be. And these cracks grow bigger and bigger and bigger over time until suddenly you have just a mess, amalgamation, literal sloppy mush of a video. You know, for something that started off as an AI through Love Island could slowly devolve into just different colours on a screen that are glitching out and spewing random shit and nonsense continuously, which is what AI is already doing anyway, to be honest, but to a real visible level. And tech companies haven't figured out how to stop it yet, and I don't think they will be able to figure out how to stop it, because AI's whole point is stealing and taking the creativity from other people. So when people keep on using AI and when people keep on feeding it itself and it's cannibalizing off itself, it's creating worse and worse copies of its past original form. So if anything, the thing that might help eradicate AI may be AI itself. And that's kind of an ironic thought when you think about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the little bell. I'm going to do some more posts. I'm really excited to post more, talk more about different subjects. If you guys want me to talk about anything, leave a comment below. I'd definitely love to talk about it. And yeah, I hope you guys have a nice day. Bye bye.